Wow, what do you know? It's time for the Pocket Knife Show. Hey, it's Mike on the mic again for another episode of the Pocket Knife Podcast. When I was younger, I had a bit of an argumentative streak. I once argued with a friend for 2 hours about whether there was such a thing as a breeze indoors or if the movement of air had to be outdoors to be called by that name. Seriously, I had a problem. I still enjoy a vigorous discussion with others today. I sometimes poke my nose into a conversation when I find fault with the logic being proposed, but I'm a little less belligerent. I don't remember pressing a point for more than, say, an hour and a half recently. In John 15, Jesus names himself the vine to which every believer must remain attached. Listen to his words in verses 1 to 5. Believe me, this is connected to my argumentative streak. I am the true vine, Jesus says, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Believe it or not, when I was 13 or 14 or 15, not sure exactly when, I took issue with that last phrase. I read it, apart from me you can do nothing, and put up a stink. I could name a dozen things I thought I could do apart from Jesus. I reasoned I could eat a whole pizza apart from Jesus. I could tie my shoe without his help. Childish ideas, right? I now realize my life is dependent upon God's sustaining power. I do not breathe if he does not will it. I cannot eat unless the body he created functions according to his design. Apart from him, I can do nothing. Of course, his meaning goes beyond breath and ingestion of food. When he said what he said, he had eternal things in mind. Understanding his words, I confess freely, apart from Jesus, I can do nothing. A few years ago, I thought of these words and started playing around with them. What came out of my time with my master's words was a simple song that repeats the truth over and over. Apart from God, you can do nothing, nada, zilch. Having established this truth early in the song, I closed with another truth which is loosely based on further words of our Savior. In Matthew 17:20, we have this from Jesus. Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. You'll catch that theme in the 4th verse. So, here's my kid's song. Oh, and before I start singing, a bit of info you'll need. There are unusually long pauses between phrases in this song. These times of silence are meant to convey meaning along with the words. I tried to keep them a little shorter for this recording since you can't see that I'm still with you. So, I hope you hang with me to the end and hear the truth that apart from God, you can do nothing. Apart from God, you can do. Apart from God, you can do. Apart from God, you can do. You can do nothing. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. You can't do anything without God. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. You can't do anything without God. Apart from God, you can do. Apart from God, you can do. Apart from God, you can do. You can do nada. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. You can't do anything without God. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. You can't do anything without God. Apart from God, you can do. Apart from God, you can do. Apart from God, you can do zilch. You can't do anything, you can't do anything, you can't do anything without God. You can't do anything, you can't do anything, you can't do anything without God. With God there is nothing impossible. With God there is nothing too hard. With God there is nothing impossible. He can do anything. He can do anything. He can do anything. He can do anything. He's God. He can do anything. He can do anything. He can do anything. He's God. Hope you heard God's truth in my little ditty. It really is true that you can't do anything apart from Jesus. So, believer, go out and live connected to your Savior. Let Him work through you to do all that He saved you to do. Obey Him even when what He calls you to seems closer to impossible than possible. With a little faith, nothing is impossible if your faith is in Jesus and you're following His direction. Oh no, it's sad, I know we've come to the end of the show. See you next time.